Perspective can be defined as your point of view and the feelings you have about people and events. Your outlook on the world might be positive, negative, or somewhere in between. Positive thinking has been shown to have beneficial effects on health and well-being. Those individuals who practice positive thinking tend to get sick less frequently, recover from illness faster, experience lower rates of depression, and generally live longer. Positive thinking is also associated with better stress management skills and a greater ability to cope with hardships in life. Some people naturally seem to have an optimistic outlook on life, while others struggle with pessimism. It is often said that happiness is a choice, but it is not enough to simply choose happiness. If that were the case, everyone would be happy and there would be no need for this lesson. Having a positive outlook is a skill, one that can be improved with practice. Therefore, it is not only necessary to choose happiness, but also to practice happiness. Especially when things aren't going your way, it is easy to feel discouraged, think and speak negatively, and lose your perspective. If positive thinking isn't something that comes naturally to you, there is hope in the fact that you can train your mind to focus on the positive. Practicing a positive outlook can help to shift your patterns of thinking and improve your health and well-being. Following are some tips to train your mind to think positively. First and foremost, take care of your physical needs. This includes eating a balanced diet, participating in regular exercise, and getting the recommended 8 hours of sleep each night. When your physical needs are being met, your stress levels decrease, and your mood is bound to improve. If you struggle with negative thoughts, you may need to adjust your diet, sleep habits, or exercise regimen to see if that enhances your outlook on life. Once you have done your best to satisfy physical needs, you can focus more deeply on evaluating your perspective. Begin by observing your thoughts. Of course, we all have positive thoughts sometimes, and negative thoughts other times, depending on the situation. That is normal and natural. The goal is to identify the overall pattern of your thinking. Perhaps you will find that you tend to see the world through rose-colored glasses, and everything is rainbows and sunshine most of the time. Alternatively, you may discover that you have a tendency to see things in a negative light. Be aware of the stumbling blocks of negative thinking. Filtering is the term used to describe the habit of ignoring positive things that happen and focusing only on the negative. For example, you might dwell on the fact that you got a D in algebra and completely forget to congratulate yourself for the A's and B's you got in your other classes. If you notice yourself falling into this pattern of filtering out the positive, you have the ability to shift this behavior. Try to force yourself to list the good stuff. This may seem difficult at first, but if you are intentional about focusing on the positive things in your life, you can train your mind to automatically pay attention to the good instead of the bad. Another pitfall of negativity is called personalizing. Personalizing means that you blame yourself for bad things that are out of your control. Of course, some things that happen in life are the consequences of your own actions, and it is important to take responsibility when you make a mistake. However, there are many things that are outside your control, and when these things happen, it is important not to blame yourself. You are responsible for your own actions, but have no control over the actions of others. It is not healthy to personalize a situation by blaming yourself for things over which you are powerless. Catastrophizing is a pattern of negative thinking that involves automatically assuming the worst. Perhaps your friend hasn't responded to your text message, and you jump to the conclusion that she is mad at you and doesn't want to be friends anymore. Maybe you accidentally sleep through your alarm in the morning and assume the rest of the day will be terrible. Certainly, things like this can present an obstacle, but usually it does not mean the end of the world. Try to keep your mind open to all possibilities, not just the worst-case scenario. It is helpful to visualize favorable outcomes and positive situations. Polarizing means seeing things as all good or all bad, with no middle ground. Those who struggle with this type of thinking see a situation as either perfect or a complete failure. Typically in life, things are not so black and white. Usually, there are benefits and drawbacks to every scenario, and the challenge is to focus on the good, not the bad. Maybe you didn't make the soccer team, or you didn't get the leading role in the school play. Instead of seeing failure, challenge yourself by asking what you can learn from the situation, what new opportunities are present, or where the silver lining is. Perhaps not earning a position on the soccer team or the lead in the play will free up time to develop other talents you possess. Every situation offers an opportunity to learn and grow. Self-talk is the constant stream of things we say to ourselves on a daily basis. Pay attention to your self-talk. Are the things you say kind and supportive, or do you have a tendency to berate and criticize yourself? If the majority of what you tell yourself is negative, you are liable to start believing what you say. Try to replace negative thoughts with positive ones and shift from self-criticism to self-acceptance. Practice positive self-talk by being gentle and encouraging with your words. Instead of saying, "I was too lazy to get this done," you could say, "I wasn't able to fit this into my schedule, but if I rearrange my priorities, I will succeed." You could replace saying, "I've never done this before. I don't think I can," with, "I have an opportunity to learn something new." Speaking to yourself in a caring and nurturing manner can improve your self-worth and increase your productivity. Another way to practice keeping a positive outlook and a positive attitude is to consciously tell yourself and others positive ideas and thoughts. These are called affirmations. If you affirm something, you say that it is true or valid. Some examples of affirmations include, "I am accepting of who I am." "You are resourceful, and you can overcome obstacles." "I am powerful, and what I do matters." And "You are loved." Affirmations can be spoken or written. When affirming someone else, you should be truthful and sincere. You can find something to affirm in almost every person you know. Affirming yourself can sometimes be more difficult. Make a list of positive qualities you possess, and remember to affirm these qualities in yourself. If you have trouble thinking of your positive traits, you can write affirmations that say things you wish you believed about yourself. Repeating affirmations to yourself can build your self-esteem and help you to keep a positive outlook. Maintaining a positive outlook can sometimes depend on having realistic perspective. The word perspective can be defined as the ability to view circumstances in their true relation or relative importance in the grand scheme of things. In other words, when things happen in life, perspective is your ability to decide which things are really worth your attention and effort and which things aren't that important. Sometimes when you're facing a problem, it's easy to lose your perspective. For example, imagine that your sibling borrowed your brand new bike without asking and scratched the paint. It would be natural to feel angry about the damage, but perhaps deciding that you will never speak to them again is a bit of an overreaction. In situations like this, it's important to try to see the problem in the context of your entire life. 50 years from now, will this issue still be important to you? At that point, you'd probably look back at the memory and laugh. Another way to maintain perspective is to interact with people facing serious challenges. Perhaps if you volunteer feeding the homeless, you will realize that having a scratched bicycle is not as bad as not having a roof over your head. If you spend time at a hospital, visiting patients in a children's cancer ward, you might just be grateful to be alive and healthy. Focusing on the blessings in your life can help to put the negative aspects into perspective. Finally, creating a daily gratitude list is another great way to stay positive. A gratitude list includes all the things you are thankful for. Some days, it is easy to think of things for which you are grateful. There may be other days, however, when you struggle to think of things to add to your gratitude list. It is on those difficult days that the gratitude list is most helpful. Actively searching for the happy, pleasant, or comforting aspects of your life can help to shift your mindset to a more positive outlook. Remember that having a positive outlook can be beneficial to your health and well-being. It is necessary not only to choose happiness, but also to practice the skill of being positive. Now you are aware of the various patterns of negative thinking, and you have some strategies for shifting your perspective to be more positive. Which strategy will you use first to improve your perspective?